Hello, my name is Carole. Welcome to my sewing room. And why am I smiling? Because it's hashtag Fabric Wheel of Fate results time. This is my 5th series. This is the Wheel of Fate. I'm not going to go on and on about what it all is and where you can find lots more videos like this. I'm going to put a link to the starter, the kickoff to series 5, which is the summer series, this one, where the fabric wheel has the blues, in the description box down below, and also all the other wonderful channels that I know of that are doing a similar thing. What are we doing? We're sewing up our stash. That's just amazing, isn't it? I'm wearing the results from spin number 3, this beautiful viscose challis, which I turned into a top. But what did I do this time round? It landed on hubby's choice. He had the choice of 3 fabrics left. There was, well, if I show you the 2, because we'll get on to that in a minute, we have this viscose here. I think that's a seersucker. And then we had this nasty, little scraps left of which I think is a crepe, viscose crepe. Now, it had a graduated colour, which you can probably see in that little scrap there. So he chose that one for me, probably the hardest one he could have chosen. But I love what I've made. I absolutely love what I made. Where did I get this fabric? Well, I bought this fabric in the sewing studio in Maitland, Florida, when I was on a trip over there, and I met the lovely Deb from Deb's Way and Grace with So Lovely with Grace. And why did I buy it if I wasn't so keen on it? Well, in my mind, I wanted to make a pair of kind of wide palazzo pants with them, with that lovely graduated bit at the bottom. That's what I thought in my head it would make the perfect pair. And it really would on someone perhaps that's taller than me, because when you get it home and then you sort of, I don't know if you do this, but if you've got a piece of fabric, do you kind of hold it against you to make a kind of skirt shape or make a dress shape or trousers? Well, that's what I did with that, and I thought, Carole, that's not a good look for you. So hence it went into the fabric stash, and there it has stayed for a while. But I really did want to use it up. But I found something to sew from it. And what did I choose? I chose a new look pattern, of course, because I have a lot of new look patterns. I did a video a while ago about how many patterns and which ones I have, and they were a majority of new look. I made a pattern I have made before, so slightly altering my rules, but I made this one, New Look 6575. Now, this she's wearing as a kind of, like a blouse, isn't it? A tunic. That, I would not wear that like that. I use that as a beach cover-up. So as I said, I've made one before and it was kind of crinkle crepe, but I knew it would work. That one looked very tatty, so this one I thought would be perfect. So I actually did that view there, but I really cut the sleeves short. Now, I bet you're dying to see what it looks like on me. Please bear in mind, I would only wear it around the pool or on the beach with a swimsuit underneath. So although I have modelled it in the garden, for modesty's sake, I put shorts underneath, but it is quite low. But don't worry, I wouldn't go out and about like that with something so deep. It's a beach cover-up, but I'll show you a little bit of footage now. So here she is. I hope you agree it looks perfect for what it's going to be. And I know I will wear it. And that's the point. I only sew now for what I'm going to wear. Now that can make a boring channel sometimes, but there's no point sewing things that I know I'm never going to wear, because that's just a waste of fabric and time and money. So I knew I was going to wear this. Now, I have to admit, I think I did some clever cutting. I only had, I think it was 1.5 meters, and actually this took a lot of pieces. what you have is obviously the main bit, you've got quite a full skirt. You can see the graduated bit there. But this is all facings, this is double facings. What I wanted to achieve, because I knew I wanted to use this graduated ombre look at the bottom, but I also wanted to use it somewhere else. But it was really hard cutting to actually be able to put it sort of on the sleeves or on the top. So I went against all pattern layout rules and I cut things this way, that way, all sorts, but it managed to work. So obviously the skirt portion, I used that, and so that was along by the selvage. But then I managed to cut out some strips out of the lighter colour to do as the kind of facing. Because it's very little of it, the underside isn't. But that's not going to matter. I also managed to get it, the light portion there as well, and that's cut in little pieces because I didn't really have enough. Now, as I've made this before, I know it comes down really low, even though it's a beach cover-up. So what I've done is, as you can see, it goes down to there, your waist. No, I'm not having it split to my waist. So I've added I just sewed a couple more of these ties and I've just pulled it together there. And that should be okay. I mean, especially if you kind of put it in a bow or something and it hides even more. It has got, it's got a ribbon waistband, which is a tie waistband rather, that is actually attaches to a piece of elastic. So obviously, I love that actually, where you've got the tie and then you just sew it onto the piece of elastic and it goes around. So it makes a really sort of comfortable fit at the back. As I say, there was no pattern matching. When I did the wheel and my husband chose the fabric, because I gave him the 3 to choose from, he said, oh, and I want some pattern matching. There is none, because you wouldn't really notice, and the amount of fabric I had did not allow for anything like that. But I love this bit here so much with the lighter blue, because it's almost like I've got 2 coordinating fabrics, and I hope you agree. I hope that you like it. Narrow hems on the edge. I didn't have any problems doing this pattern. I've done it before. It's quite oversized, so I made a small. Well, that was kind of 10 to 12, so that's probably about right for me to actually. But I just love it. I love the length of it. I did nothing to the length of it, so it's come out exactly as it should be. And with me being, I'm 5'2", it's almost a little bit longer, and it could be a dress, especially if you kind of did this up a little bit more. But I'm thrilled. I hope you agree that it really is. I did a good job on it. It was a slippery fabric, but actually with a slow kind of gentle hand, I didn't have any problems. I didn't have any problems with it in the overlocker either. So there we go. Thank you, Fabric Wheel. That was another success. I know you don't choose the pattern, but you choose the fabric for me, and it really makes me up my game on what I'm going to sew. Now, the sad thing is I have 2 fabrics left. So I've changed up my wheel. How boring does that look? But I know I want to use these fabrics up. I just want them made up and gone. But as I said, it is this seersucker, which again, I only have let's have a look, see, it's not that wide, but it's a metre. There was a reason I bought this, and the reason I haven't sewn it as well. Now I'm going to see if I can find a picture for you. My son is now 34. He used to have a teddy bear that had pyjamas made of exactly this fabric, more or less. And I think when I bought it, maybe I thought I was going to make him a new pair of pyjamas, I don't know. I've always talked about making him a new pair because obviously they're quite old now, but it's kind of put me off making something for myself from it. This other fabric, although the pattern is lovely, it is super, super thin. Now, I have got, oh, actually, I've got a bit more of this. For once, I've got 1.5 meters rather than 1 metre. There isn't much variance, actually, from one side to the other, which is unusual for a viscose, isn't it? but it is quite sheer. Doesn't look it in the lighting, but it is quite sheer. Which one was it going to be? I know what I've got to do now is spin the wheel and just get the decision over with, because at the end of the day, you know I'm going to make both of those up, but let's just see which one I'm going to make up first. Never has the wheel looked so boring than it looks right now. Two sides, it's a 50-50 chance. I don't want it to be that one, and I don't want it to be that one either, so oh, good luck me. Let's give it a really good spin. Oh no. I have no idea what I'm going to make with this at all. That's why I landed on the wheel. But think how happy I'll be when I have made it up. So as I said, it's really thin. It is drapey, but I don't know if it's a great quality, so I've got to be really, really careful with it. I've got 1.5 meters of it. If you made a dress from it, it would be so lightweight. This is my sticking point, and this is why it's been in the fabric stash for a long time, a good few years, because it is so thin and the quality isn't great. Now, obviously, I mean, I'm wearing a top that you could kind of make out of it, and I could just make my normal shell tops out of it. Whatever I do, I know I have a lot of blouses. Whatever I do, I need to make sure it's something I'm going to wear rather than just waste the fabric. You can you hear my brain whirring right now? Because as in this whole series, and I think every series I've ever done, apart from the very first one, spin on this, I had no idea what I was going to make from the fabric. Even when I spun it, even when I came back to you with a choice, I never know. And that's why I love this so much, because it makes me make a decision and I get these things sewn. So, right, leave that with me and I will come back to you in a week or two to see how we get on. But I'm really going to have to go hunting through all my patterns. I've got to bear in mind, I've got all these patterns. I've got my Lutterlow patterns that I've got. That's the Lutterlow pattern drawing system. And I've got some Burda magazines. So somewhere along the line, I should be able to find something without trying to buy a new pattern. Right, that's all. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. Please check out the other channels. If you put hashtag Fabric Wheel of Fate in the search bar in YouTube, you will come up with some channels now, not just me. There's a whole stream of them. And as I said, I will put their names down below because there are some new channels doing it. And I'm absolutely thrilled. They either do a wheel or dice or some other kind of method of choosing how to sew up their stash. It's great fun. I would encourage you to do a similar thing at home. Thank you so much. I will see you again and wish me good luck.